Hi, this is Eric with ForgeCon Conclusions. Today we're going to be setting a blank ring. So this ring features 42 1mm diamonds, and it's going to have 5 2.5mm sapphires set in. So basically each of the sapphires has like kind of a little halo-y kind of thing of diamonds going around it. So we're going to go in with some burrs, cut all the seats for the diamonds first, and then once all those stones are set in, then we'll worry about the sapphires. Let's get setting. All right, so this is what we're going to be using to help us set 1mm size stones. So a lot of times you could use these kind of things. Optivisors is a very common, very available kind of way of magnifying your workpiece. They have different types of lenses. This adds a little bit more magnification. Another tool that gets used, you have loops, and they come in a variety of different times essentially. So you can get like 20x, 10x. So this microscope, this is fully adjustable with its magnification, and it really allows you to look really closely at things while keeping your working distance very reasonable, so that way you can get your hands in, you can get different tools in without having to worry about like crashing in. That is one of the limiting factors with this, is that you have to get so close to the workpiece in order for it to not like be blurry. So there's definitely some advantages with having a microscope, and yeah, it's fun. So, all right, so it'll definitely make this project much easier, more accurate, and better looking. So the first step is we're going to be using this 0.5mm burr. We're going to be cutting little like pilot seats all around into each spot, and that'll help us we'll use steadily increasing like larger burrs, and then we'll eventually get to the point where we'll be ready to put the 1mm stones in. So we've set 3 stones into this piece. We're gonna keep going around each circle and just continue to place stones in and get some metal over them. So what we're doing, this is a beading tool. It's got a little cup on it, and that little cup, I'm splitting the prongs, and then I'm rounding over the metal onto each of the stones. You rock it gently back and forth, and it kind of pushes down the prong and burnishes the metal over at the same time, securing the stone in place. So we've set 2 halos with the stones already. We're going to continue on with the third. Basically what we're doing, we're using a heart burr and ball burr to clear out room for the stones, and then setting it in there, and then having the metal brought down onto the stone to secure it in. The next step is to cut the seats for the sapphires that are going into the center. There's 5 of them, and we'll basically be using this heart burr. We're gonna cut into the sides of the prongs, and then we're gonna set all the stones in. So we've cut the seats for the stones, and these are 2.5 millimeter stones that are going into it. They're all the same size here, and we're basically going to put the stones in. They have a little seat already cut, and once we have them in, we'll bring the prongs in towards the stone, and that's what's going to keep it in place. So you can see, so these stones are all calibrated. They're all 2.5, so I don't have to worry about, the order per se. But what I am looking for is how the girdle interacts with the cuts that I made for the seats. There is a little variation in that. And what I'm looking for is to make sure that the stones are, the tables, when you move the ring along, do I see the table is straight? Do I see any like flex in it? And what I mean is tilt. Do I see any tilt? And I want to see how the seats interact with that girdle and how it's going to, when I bring in the metal, is it going to go over the stone properly and look decent? So right now we ground down the prongs a little bit so that way everything's flat. And we're using a cup burr, so it's basically kind of inside is kind of domed over, and then it has a little cutting surface on the inside, and that's going to turn the flat of the prongs into a rounded over prong. And this way the prongs aren't sticking up as high as what they were when we originally set it, and it just makes everything smoothed over and rounded down. Right now we're using a rubber wheel, and what we're trying to do is just clean up the outside of the prongs, remove any tool marks, chatter that's on them, just to make them shinier. So we just finished cleaning up this ring. So we polished and then we ultrasonicked and steamed the ring. So this is it. Well, thanks for joining us as we set stones into this ring. So we went over how to set 1 millimeter stones, and then we went through and put 2.5 millimeters. So yeah, thanks for joining us. It's Eric with Forge Gone Conclusions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Take care.